Hi, I'm really excited to show you this video because I just want to show you the power of releasing money out of property and the ability to grow a really profitable portfolio without too much risk or too many problems. So I'm just going to talk you through the financials of doing that. Now in this, I'm assuming a couple of things, and I'll show you a slide at the end on the assumptions, but basic assumptions are we buy the right type of property so that it pays for itself. So we're trying to buy them so they make £100 a month, but let's just assume they pay for themselves, they don't make any extra money on top of that. Okay. I'm also assuming that the market will go up. It won't go up at all for the first couple of years after you've bought it. So if you're buying in the market at the moment, just to protect yourself, it's not going to go up at all in value for a couple of years, but then it goes up at 5% per year. Okay. Again, national average, we talked about already, is that over a period of 10 years it will go up approximately 80 to 100%. But in this example we're assuming in effect 50% growth because we've got 8 years at 5% compounding up and a couple of years at 0%. So okay, so we've gone cautious, but it's just a model to show you why people get into property and why people who buy one don't just stop at one, they buy more. So the slide in the screen in front of you now, if we just look at the slide, basically you'll see the investment of £60,000 in year one on the left hand side. Now we've used that investment and we've gone out and put it down as deposits on 3 properties. So you've got £240,000 worth of property and £180,000 worth of mortgages. We do understand that there are some costs associated with buying property, setting up mortgages, etc. For simplicity, I've left those out of this equation. But they're normally a couple of £1,000s of costs, and they would be built into this plan quite comfortably. But just for simple terms, it's a very simple illustration to show you how things work. So you can see at the end of year one, we've got 60,000 of equity, which is the money we put in. Okay. Year two, the house price increases at 0%, so we're still in the same boat, 60,000 of equity. In year three, the market goes up 5%, so now the house values are 252,000. Your equity has increased, your mortgages haven't, so your equity is 72,000. Up it goes again in year 4, it goes again in year 5. So in year 5, your property's worth 277,830 now, and your equity position would have increased. However, you go to the bank and you say, can I borrow an extra £26,250 please? So you can see the mortgage size in year 5 goes up by 26,250. So your equity you've now got is now only 71,580 in those 3 properties. But you take that 26,250, you put 25,000 down as a deposit, you've bought another property. So you can see here we buy another property worth 100,000, 75,000 mortgage on it with 25,000 of equity in. So you've now got 4 properties. The year 6 line shows you those 4 properties going up in value by 5%. So we've now got £396,721. You've got your mortgages, which are the 4 mortgages together, and your equity. The same happens in year 7, it goes up 5% again, but we've now got enough equity again to release another 26,250. So we take that money out and we go put down another deposit and we buy another property. So in year 7 now we've got to our 5th property. Okay. In year 8 the whole lot goes up 5%. We don't change the mortgages. In year 9 we're able to release 2 lots of deposits, £50,000. So we increase the mortgage balance to 432,000 on the 5 that we've got, and we put 2 more deposits down, buy 2 more properties. So we've now in total got 7 properties, and in year 10 they go up 5%. So we've got £807,000 worth of properties in year 10, 7 properties. The mortgage at that point, we increase slightly, we increase it to 605,984, and that allows us to release in that year, year 10, £23,984. Okay, and the equity in these 7 properties is now 200,000. So you started with a £60,000 investment, you've now got 7 properties with £200,000 worth of equity in them, and just under £24,000 in the bank that you released back towards your 60,000. Okay. The exciting bit is from here. You've now got your portfolio. You now want to build things going forward. So you let the portfolio grow, and it goes up 5% per annum. So by year 13, 3 further years in, that would be 935,000. The mortgage company let you go back and borrow up to 701,000. So on the right hand side you can see you release £95,000 of equity released, tax free. That's covered a 3-year period, so it equates to just over £31,000 a year. Okay, your equity's still gone up a bit, but you've released most of it into your bank account. You can spend that on the going around the world, the Ferrari, whatever you want it to be spent on. 3 years later the same again, 3 years later the same again. Okay. The slide you've just seen illustrates quite clearly, with simple increases in property value, how you can make quite good returns on an ongoing basis. Okay. We have assumed property goes up in value because you wouldn't be investing in it if you didn't think it was going to go up in value. So we have assumed it goes up in value, but we've been cautious with the assumptions. We have been cautious with other assumptions. We haven't assumed we buy any of these properties with discount. I hope that you will, or that you do. We haven't assumed any profit from the rental incomes. It's been a very basic, safe model, just to show how those property increases can help you comfortably build a portfolio. A lot of people will say, well, I'm too busy to do that. I've got a day job, I've got kids, I've got everything else. There are companies that can do this for you. Property Insight is one of those. There are others as well. Or you can learn to do it yourself and enjoy it. Because 10 years from now, with that income of 30,000 a year, could that change your life? Could that mean one of you doesn't need to work anymore, or both of you don't need to work anymore? Do you want a 20-year plan and you'll build that 30,000 of income up to be 60,000 of income or 70,000 a year of income? Everybody has different goals and ambitions. What I'm passionate about is showing people that property can really truly release this money. You will rarely find a property investor that just has one property and stays with that, and that's because they find it makes them money. The only people that generally pull back out of it are people that have had stresses and problems because they haven't had rules, or because they haven't been ready and had a plan to deal with bad eventualities. Okay, so I hope this just helps you illustrate how property can grow comfortably, safely. Okay, I can give you no guarantees of performance. I can't sit here and guarantee your property will go up in value. So please don't just use this information on its own and go buy a load of property. Please speak to experts and get that advice and help. But based on properties increasing in value, this is what you can do. This is exactly what you can achieve. Okay, I hope that helps.